Good afternoon, class. You can sit down. Thank you. All right, then. In our previous lesson, we started looking at solving quadratic equations. And the first method was factorizing, or the factor method. We did some questions, and we have to complete questions 7 to 13. So we'll just go through those questions quickly, orally, and then we'll go on to method number 2. We'll start from George. You have to give us the answer to question 7, please. Pass the mic.
X equals -4, X equals 4.
All right, number 7, x equals plus or minus 4. Andrew, for question 8.
X is equal to -3 or X is equal to 3.
Okay. Positive or negative 3 for number 8. Number 9, Peter.
X equals -3 or X equals 2.
X equals 3 or x equals 2. Okay, number 10, Gabriel.
X equals -5/3.
Okay, -5 on 3. 11, Ponrele.
X is equal to -5/3 or X is equals to 7/2.
13, Agnes. Sorry, 12.
X is equals to 3/4 or X is equals to 1/2.
And the last one, number 13, Raylene.
X is equals to 3/2.
X is 3 on 2. Okay, all those answers correct? Yes? Any questions? No? Okay. The next thing we are going to look at is method number 2 on how to solve quadratic equations. Okay, this method is called completing the square. Okay, what I'm going to do to example 1 is I'm going to solve that example or that equation using factorizing first, and then I will do the same question this time using completing the square. Okay, if I were to factorize this, 2 factors of -9, that will give +8 are 1 and 9. So x plus 9 times x minus 1. So I get x equals -9 or x equals +1. Okay, if I use completing the square, the first thing that you do, if there is a constant and if this number is 1, okay, if this number is 1, you move the constant to the other side of the equation. So x squared plus 8x equals 9. And then for this, you complete the square. And to do that, you get half of 8, which is 4, and then you square it. So half of 8 is 4, and you add it on both sides of the equation. So if I get half of 8, which is 4, and then I square it, I add it on this side, I also have to add it on the other side. I have to make the equation the same. The left-hand side must always be equal to the right-hand side. And then this is going to be x squared plus 8x plus 16 equals 9 plus 16, which is 25. And then I factorize this one. I now realize that this one is a square. 2 factors of 16, that will give, excuse me, that will give 8, 4 and 4. Or otherwise, once you see that this is, remember when we were factorizing quadratic trinomials, we learned how to recognize squares. If this is half of this one squared, that means this is a square. So to factorize, you just get either the square root of that or half of 8. So it's going to be x plus 4 squared equals 25. Then after this point, the next thing to do to solve this, I have to find the square root of both sides. The square root of x plus 4 squared is x plus 4. The square root of 25 is 5, but this time we will have to say plus or minus 5 because the square of negative 5 is also 25. And the square of positive 5 is also 25. Then I will have two answers. Okay? One answer is going to be x plus 4 equals positive 5. The other one is going to be x plus 4 equals negative 5. All right, this will give 1 because 5 minus 4 is 1, and this is going to give negative 9, which are same as the two answers that. Clear? Okay, we are going to go through example 2 and then I'll see if you can do example number 3. Okay, first we have to move 16 to the right hand side. So we will have x squared minus 6x equals 16. After this point, you have to complete the square. Okay, we get half of negative 6, which is negative 3. And then we square negative 3 and we add it on both sides of the equation. So x squared minus 6x plus the square is negative 3. Sorry, half of negative 6 is negative 3 and I square negative 3. I also have to add it on the other side. So this is now x squared minus 6x plus 9 equals 16 plus 9 will be 25. Okay, factorize this for me. X squared minus 6x plus 3. Garonamo? Sorry, x squared minus 6x plus 9. Garonamo?
X minus 3 squared.
Good. The number that goes here is the same number that you put here. Okay, so it's x minus 3 squared. If this is negative, then this one will be negative as well. Okay, if x minus 3 squared is equal to 25, then x minus 3 is equal to, Miriam?
Five.
Plus or minus 5. Okay, the square root of this and the square root of this. So it's plus or minus 5. There are two answers now. One will be x minus 3 equals 5 or x minus 3 equals negative 5. We are going to get 8 and negative 2. Okay, 8 and negative 2. So the solutions to x squared minus 6x minus 16 equals 0 are x equals 8 or x equals negative 2. Okay, I want you to try this and note that this is an odd number. But I would like you to do the question as a fraction, not as a decimal. Please try it before we go into the next one. Right, x squared minus 5x equals 14. What's half of 5? 2.5, okay. We'll add, what I will do is, because I don't have a calculator, I'll have to say half of 5, I'll say minus 5 on 2, which is minus 2.5, half of negative 5. I square it and add it onto both sides of the equation. So add negative 5 on 2 squared. Okay, this is 4 equals 14 plus 25 on 4. Now to factorize this, remember what I said here? The number that goes here is the same number that you square and add. Okay, so this number is going to be minus 5 on 2. So minus 5 on 2 squared equals 14 plus 25 on 4. If I get the lowest common multiple of 4, I get 4 into 1 is 4 times 14 is 76. I get 76 plus 25. Okay, which is x minus 5 on 2 squared is equal to 76 plus 25 is, what's this? Is it 76? Oh, sorry. 56. 56 plus 25 is 81. Okay, that's 81 on 4. So to find, I'll have to do the rest of it up here. Okay, to find the square root of both sides, we now have x minus 5 on 2 equals plus or minus the square root of 81 is 9 and the square root of 4 is 2. Okay, the next line will have to be, if I can just put it here, square root of this x minus 5 on 2 equals the square root of 81 on 4, like this, and it will have to be plus or minus. So it will be plus or minus 9 on 2. Okay, there are now two answers. X minus 5 on 2 equals positive 9 on 2, or x minus 5 on 2 equals negative 9 on 2. Okay, this one will give 5 on 2 plus 9 on 2. This will give 5 on 2 minus 9 on 2. 5 on 2 plus 9 on 2 is the same as 14 on 2, right? Which is 7. This one will give 5 minus 9 is negative 4. Negative 4 on 2 is 2. Sorry, negative 2. So the answers are 7 and 2. Sorry, negative 2. All right, then we are going to do number 4. You will note that you can only use completing the square maybe if you find it hard to factorize, or if you find out that you cannot factorize the quadratic equation. Then you can use completing the square. The best method to use is factorizing, because it's easier. Again, you only use completing the square, one, if you cannot factorize, and secondly, if you find it difficult to factorize. Otherwise, try as much as possible to factorize. Okay, number 4. I purposely put number 4 down. The others you will find that you can factorize. You can factorize x squared plus 8x minus 9. You can also factorize x squared minus 6x minus 16. You can also factorize x squared minus 5x minus 14. And that's why you have whole numbers which are answers. Okay, have a look at example 4, and we'll do example 4 together. Right, x squared minus 6x plus 3 equals 0. I have to move 3 onto the other side. It now becomes negative 3. Okay, then I complete the square. I get half of negative 6, right? X squared minus 6x plus negative 3 squared equals minus 3 plus negative 3 squared. And I will get x squared minus 6x plus 9 equals minus 3 plus 9 is 6. Okay, then I factorize this, which is x minus 3 squared equals 6. The next step is to find the square root of both sides of the equation. So I will now be left with x minus 3 equals plus or minus the square root of. Okay, so I have to leave it like that. Now there will still be two answers. One is x minus 3 equals the square root of 6, or x minus 3 is equal to the negative square root of 6. Okay, this one is going to give, because I have to add 3 on both sides to get x, I will now get root 6 plus 3, or I can write it as 3 plus root 6. All right, this one, are you with me? This one will be negative root 6 plus 3, or 3 minus root 6. Okay, these two are the exact values for x. Now, if you wanted to change this to a decimal, or if you were asked to find the answer to 2 decimal places, can you tell me what the answers are going to be for these two, this and this? Using your calculators, please. First one, 5.45 to 2 decimal places. The other one, positive or negative? Okay, positive 0.55. Any questions, please? If you got confused somewhere, ask. Is it clear? Very clear? Do I need to repeat anything, please? Say so? No? Okay. Look at the exercise on the monitor. We are going to do exercise 1 and 2. There's an exercise 2 there, orally. Now, the idea behind that is for you to be able to find or to complete the square quickly. You also note that all the questions that we have done, all the examples have the coefficient of x squared to be 1. Okay, this and this, all of them, the coefficients are 1, and that's a little bit easier. We are going to look at, I'm going to give you one question, and you'll try and do it on your own to see if you can work out what to do if the coefficient is a different number than 1. All right, have a look at the exercise. What you are to do, it says, what must be added to each of the following expressions to make a perfect square? All right, the number, you have to put it in the square. Now, x squared plus 6x, all you have to do is you get half of 6, which is 3, and then you square 3. The answer for number 1 will be 9. Okay. We'll start from Patrick. You are going to do number 2. For x squared plus 14x plus what number should go in the square for number 2?
49.
49. Livingston? Number 3?
16.
16. Number 4?
100.
100. Number 5?
25.
25. Number 6, Kyle?
1.
1. Good. Tamaku? What's half of 3?
1.5.
1.5. Square 1.5.
Two and 3/4.
2 and 3/4 or 1/4? 1/4. Good try. Okay. X squared plus 3x plus half of 3 is 3 on 2 squared 3 on 2. I always deal with fractions. I don't use a calculator much. Okay. Number 8. X squared minus 5x plus what number should go in the square? Solomon?
6 1/4.
6 and 1/4. Okay. Or 25 on 4. All right. Next exercise, number 2. This time you are to put half of 6 squared to the square and then factorize it again. So in number 1, 2 part 1, the number that should go in the square is 9. The number that should go in the triangle is 3. Okay. Vui, you have the pleasure of telling us the answers for number 2. Stand up.
9 and x minus 9.
Are you sure?
3.
9, you're telling me x squared minus 18x plus 9.
81.
81, that's better. And in the triangle?
X minus 9.
Okay, good. It's x squared minus 18x plus 81. That's equal to x minus 9 squared. Velma? Number 3.
81.
Number 3.
64.
64. And in the square, in the triangle?
X plus 8.
Okay, good. X plus 8 squared. Number 4, Hekoi.
16.
In the square will be 16 and in the triangle?
4.
4. Good. Chutaili? Number 5.
110.
110. Good. Number 6.
36 and 6.
36 and 6. Okay. That was just an exercise to get you to try and think up the squares quickly and then be able to factorize straight after. Okay? Now, number 1, exercise 3, you are to actually solve using completing the square. I'd like everyone to do question 1 and 2, which we have to correct before you go to your next class. I think most of you have completed number 1. Huh? Okay, the answers x equals 1 plus root 26 or x equals 1 minus root 26. Oh, not 1. 5. X equals 5 plus root 26 or x equals 5 minus root 26. Number 2 finished? Okay, if you do number 2 correctly, you should get 1 x equals 1 plus root 7 or x equals 1 minus root 7. All right, then for homework, you have to complete questions 3, 4, 5, and 6. There are only 4 questions for homework. And for number 4 and number 5, could you please write the answers to 2 decimal places? Number 4 and number 5, write the answers to 2 decimal places. If you can do number 6, leave it as exact numbers. Okay? The keyword to the pilot teacher is square. I'll have to let you go to your next lesson. Good afternoon, class. Thank you very much.